Hey, it's DPerry, and I am a realtor with Property Consultants in Bucktown. And today on Logan Square and Westtown Homes Live, I'm going to share with you what to expect during a home inspection. So let's go. This article is brought to you by House Logic, which is made possible by realtors. So I'm going to help you with everything from finding an inspector to dealing with surprises. This is your guide to getting a house checked out. So the first thing you need to know about home inspections is you're going to feel all of the feelings. There's the excitement. The inspection could be the longest time you're in the house after the showing. Right behind that comes anxiety. What if the inspector finds something wrong? So wrong you can't buy the house. Then there's impatience. Seriously, is this whole home buying process over yet? Not yet, but you're close. So take a deep breath, because the most important thing to know about home inspection is that it's just too good for you as a buyer to skip. And here's why. A home inspector is your protector. An inspector helps you make sure a house isn't hiding anything before you commit for the long haul. Now think about it this way. You wouldn't even get coffee with a stranger without checking out their history. A home inspector identifies any reasonably discoverable problems with the house, a leaky roof, faulty plumbing, etc. Hiring an inspector is you doing your due diligence. To find a good one, more on how to do that soon, it helps to have an understanding of what the typical home inspection entails. Now, an inspection is all about list. Before an inspection, the home inspector will review the seller's property disclosure statement. Now, each state has its own requirements for what sellers must disclose on these forms. Some have stronger requirements than others. The statement lists any flaws the seller is aware of that could negatively affect the home's value. The disclosure comes in the form of an outline covering such things as mold, pet infestation, roof leaks, foundation damage, and other problems depending on what your state mandates. Now, during the inspection, an inspector has three tasks. Number one, identify problems with the house. Number two, suggest fixes. And number three, sometimes estimate how much repairs might cost. Now, he or she produces a written report, usually including photos, that details any issues with the property. The report is critical to you and your agent. It's what you'll use to request repairs from the seller, and we'll get into how you'll do that in a minute. Now, the inspector won't check everything. Generally, inspectors only examine houses for problems that can be seen with the naked eye. They won't be tearing down any walls or using magical X-ray vision to find hidden faults. Inspectors also won't put themselves in danger. If a roof is too high or steep, for example, they won't climb up to check for missing or damaged shingles. They'll use binoculars to examine it instead. Now, they can't predict the future either. While an inspector can give you a rough idea of how many more years that roof will hold up, he or she can't tell you exactly when it will need to be replaced. And finally, home inspectors are often generalists. A basic inspection doesn't routinely include a thorough evaluation of swimming pools, wells, septic systems, structural engineering work, the ground beneath a home, fireplaces, and chimneys. Now, when it comes to wood-burning fireplaces, for instance, most inspectors will open and close dampers to make sure they're working, check chimneys for obstructions like birds' nests, and note if they believe there's reason to pursue a more thorough safety inspection. By the way, if you're concerned about the safety of a fireplace, you can hire a certified chimney inspector for about $125 to $325 per chimney. Find one through the Chimney Safety Institute of America. Now, it's your job to check the inspector. Now you're ready to connect with someone who's a pro at doing all the above. Here's where, once again, your real estate agent has your back. He or she can recommend reputable home inspectors to you. In addition to getting recommendations, friends and relatives are handy for those too, you can rely on online resources such as the American Society of Home Inspectors, or ASHI. Find a home inspector tool which lets you search by address, metro area, or neighborhood. You'll want to interview at least 3 inspectors before deciding whom to hire. And during each chat, ask questions such as, are you licensed or certified? Inspector certifications vary based on where you live, and not every state requires home inspectors to be licensed, and licenses can indicate different degrees of expertise. ASHI lists each state's requirements. How long have you been in the business? Look for someone with at least 5 years of experience. It indicates more homes inspected. How much do you charge? The average home inspection costs about $315. For condos and homes under 1,000 square feet, the average cost is $200. Homes over 2,000 square feet can run $400 or more. And what do you check exactly? Know what you're getting for your money. What don't you check specifically? Some home inspectors are more thorough than others. How soon after the inspection will I receive my report? Home inspection contingencies require you to complete the inspection within a certain period of time after the offer is accepted, normally 5 to 7 days. So you're on a set timetable. A good home inspector will provide you with a report within 24 hours after the inspection. May I see a sample report? This will help you gauge how detailed the inspector is and how he or she explains problems. Now, sometimes you can find online reviews of inspectors on sites like Angie's List and Yelp too. If past clients' feedback is helpful in making your decision. Now, show up for your inspection and bring your agent. It's inspection day, and the honor of your agent's presence is not required, but highly recommended. Even though you'll receive a report summarizing the findings later on, being there gives you a chance to ask questions and to learn the inner workings of the home. Block out 2 to 3 hours for the inspection. The inspector will survey the property from top to bottom. This includes checking water pressure, leaks in the attic, plumbing, etc. If doors and window frames are straight, if not, it could be a sign of structural issues. If electrical wiring is up to code, if smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are working, if appliances work properly. Outside, he or she will look at things like siding, fencing, and drainage. Now, the inspector might also be able to check for termites, asbestos, lead paint, or radon. Because these tests involve more legwork and can require special certification, they come at an additional charge. Get ready to negotiate. Once you receive the inspector's report, review it with your agent. Legally, sellers are required to make certain changes. These can vary depending on location. Most sales contracts requires the sellers, and this is not true in Illinois, structural defects. There's a crack in the foundation, the seller can repair it, or they can give you a credit, or they can just say no. But in some other states, it may be required. Building code violations, safety issues. Most home repairs, however, are negotiable. Be prepared to pick your battles. Minor issues like a cracked switch plate or loose kitchen faucet are easy and cheap to fix on your own. You don't want to start nickel and diming the seller. Now, if there are major issues with the house, your agent can submit a formal request for repairs that include a copy of the inspection report. Repair requests should be as specific as possible. For instance, instead of saying repair broken windows, a request should say replace broken window glass in master bedroom. If the seller agrees to make all of your repair requests, he or she must provide you with invoices from a licensed contractor stating that the repairs were made. Then it's full steam ahead towards a sale. Now, if the seller responds to your repair request with a counteroffer, he or she will state which repairs or credit at closing he or she is willing to make. The ball is in your court to either agree, counter the seller's counteroffer, or void the transaction. At the end of the day, remember to check in with yourself to see how you're feeling about all of this. You need to be realistic about how much repair work you'd be taking on. At this point in the sale, there's a lot of pressure from all parties to move into the close. But if you don't feel comfortable, speak up. The most important things to remember during the home inspection: trust your inspector, trust your gut, and lean on your agent. They likely have a lot of experience to support your decision making. That's something to feel good about. So, I hope you found value in that. If you'd like to keep your finger on the pulse of real estate in any neighborhood in Chicagoland, sign up for Market Snapshot. The price is right. It's absolutely free, and its name implies what it does. You get a snapshot of real estate activity. You get an email, there's a link, you click it, you see houses plotted on a map. They're color-coded according to their status: active, under contract, closed, canceled. You can drill down. You can see details on the rooms, the dimensions, the flooring. If you have school-age children, you can get info on the school, such as distance to the school, student-teacher ratio. There may even be a score for that school. And of course, you get info on shops, restaurants, parks. You can drill down. You can look at menus, pictures, reviews. It's outstanding. And once again, the price is right. It's absolutely free. You can receive it as frequently as you want. You want it once a week? Cool. You only want it once a year? That's fine too. And you can unsubscribe at any time. So click the link, that you see on the screen. The live link is actually in the show notes. If you have questions for me, Doug Perry, call me at 312-572-9801 or email me at dperry@propertyconsultants.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love it even more if we can meet.